How's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from inside my beautiful Wolf Pup camper where I live as a minimalist, and I have for a year and a half and love it. Today's video is a good one. We're going to have some fun today. Okay, you ready for this? Now, just a disclaimer right up front. This is for fun. This is a hypothetical. This is just giving people more cause to think about getting their Social Security at 62 versus waiting till 63, 4, 5, all the way up to 70, or till your full retirement age. Okay, you ready? I think this is going to be kind of fun. And I got the idea about making this video from reading my comments where one person said, why do the vast majority of the people that win a lottery take all the money up front versus giving it to them over 30 years or however 20 years, however long it takes for them to give it to you, because you never know, right? So they're like, I'll just pay my taxes now. You get more money if you wait monthly, or yearly, or however they do it. But most people just say, give me my money. So it's the same way with Social Security. We really don't have to drive this home to that much, because most people do get it. Most people with common sense get it, that it is a scam. They want you to not take it. They call it a reduced amount when it is the amount. It's just, you know, they give you more because they give you actually less if you don't collect it for 5 years or so, or even all the way up to 70, which is a real joke. But I got a good one for you here. Let's have some fun. Remember, this is just for fun. All right. Let's say Social Security came out with a plan that said, we're going to give you all of your Social Security money, 5 years worth, only 5 years worth, from 62 to full retirement age, which is 67 pretty much now with the age. If you're born in 1960 or later now, it's 67. So let's just say 67 is full retirement age. So Social Security says, we'll give you, if you collect at 62, all your money, one check, 5 years worth. Or you can wait 5 years, just like the regular way, and we'll give you the increased amount, that big $700. Don't forget that adds up, right? That's, you know, I'm going to go over the numbers here. $700 more is what it would be for me, from $1,700 all the way up to $2,400 a month if I wait 5 years, a half a decade. And we'll give you all of that at once. So if they gave me my $1,700, we've talked about this before, in 5 years, I'd get a check day one on my 62nd birthday for $102,000. Woo! I'm rich. And I'm 62 years old. I quit my job. I work part-time. I have a side hustle. I even have a lot more options now with 102 grand in my pocket. So I might not work at all for a little while. And then we're going to make this fun, right? We're going to throw a little catch in there, because I've talked about you never know. You never know when the Lord calls you home and you leave this world, or you become someone that's not really enjoying any quality of life anymore. Your quality of life is over. I don't want to, try to describe it too gruesome, but unfortunately, a lot of people that have a stroke and different things suffer for years, the rest of their life, and it really affected their whole plan of what they wanted to do and their abilities. So we're going to say that average age of 73 for a male, which is true. I've had comments I've heard about, oh, the older you get, the longer you get. I don't know where they got that. If somebody said, oh, that average age is based on from your birth, like when you're a baby, but if you make it to 62, you got a guarantee you're going to live to be 100 or 90 or 80. I mean, come on. Please. It makes no sense. Anyway, we're going to use that average age of 72. I'm going to back it off 1 year, because it's 5 years between 62 and full retirement age of 67. And so from 67 plus 5 years is not 73, it's 72. And we're going to say that that's when the Lord calls you home. You know, at 72, you're done. So just like the lottery winner that chose to get all of his money up front, or her, and paid their taxes and just said, just give me my money now, let's do the same thing. Would you take Social Security, 5 years worth, $102,000 at 62 years old, based on $1,700 a month, which is what I get? Or would you say, I'll wait another half a decade, I'll wait 5 more years, I'll keep working, you know, I'll keep doing that work, that job, no travel, no, just sit around, do what I want to do, play golf, be retired, or, you know, even half retired, work a couple of days a week, whatever, much less than you're doing on a 40-hour full-time week, let's put it that way. Would you rather take that check of $144,000, which is 42 large more, but you got to wait 5 years, and remember, you only got 5 years left because you're going to be checked out at 72 years old, because the average age is 73 for a male. I know a lot of people, I want to live to be 100 too. I hope to be like this at 100, but it's not going to happen. I'm a realist, okay? Not going to happen for you either. I mean, they talk about these people on TV sometimes. Congratulations, he or she is 100 years old. They're alive, but I don't know about how much living they're doing. Same way with people that are in their 80s. I have met plenty of 80-year-olds that are running around the block, I guess, you know, but they're still 80. Most aren't. And I live in South Florida. I see senior citizens, 1 of every 2 people are older, much older. And another thing that happens to people that just seems to be, you know, we were talking about, well, let me stay on this and I'll get to that in a minute. So $144,000, but you had to wait 5 years, a half a decade, and you only got 5 years to go. Now, knowing that, because this is the reality, you waiting like you're going to do now to get the monthly check, monthly only, to possibly get sick or pass away in a few years after, for what? Or start collecting and get your big check, the whole $102,000, that's $42,000 less 5 years earlier, when you're young and vibrant and healthy at 62. Hopefully a lot of you are, most of you are, and you got 10 full years knowing before the day you get called home, because we're going to say, you know, you're out of here at 72. So it's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, obviously, if you knew you were leaving at 72, you wouldn't wait till you're 67 for the bigger check to only live 5 years to have $42,000 more money, right? And if you're going to get $42,000 less, but you have 10 full years that you know you can use it as well as work, and you can use the money, the $144,000, when you get it at 67 and still work too for 5 years, you know, part-time. But which would you do? I want to know in the comments. This is a hypothetical. So I'm trying to convince people, well, I hope to convince people that it makes no sense. They keep getting stuck on the math. They keep thinking they're going to be around forever, and they keep thinking if they do live a long time that there's some high quality of life after 70 or 75 years old that you're still mentally ready to get out there and charge it. I don't think so. I don't think for most. I see them every day. I see them every day. So while you're able to go and do, and you have these ambitions still, you have a bucket list, you want to go, you can still swing a golf club, you can still shoot in the 80s, versus you need to play from the women's tee on the Reds when you're 70, 75 years old. But let me see what my notes are real quick here. Yeah, so it's 5 years is all you get at 67 to enjoy 144 grand, or 42,000 less, you get 102 grand, you get to enjoy it for 10 years. Because without splitting hairs, folks, if you don't die, how much real quality of life do you have? If there's already less runway in front of you now at 62 for me than there is behind me, and that's a fact, how much shorter is that runway if I wait till 67, or I'm sorry, it's when I get to 72? I mean, do you really believe that waiting all this extra long time for, you know, your bigger check, your $700, that you're going to live a high quality of life into your late 70s and 80s? I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that money? You know, that's what I want to know. But here's what I was going to say a minute ago. I'm going to add to that to this video. It really has nothing to do with it. But we were talking about, you know, like you could die. And some people were writing in the comments some very valid points. Tammy and I share meals because we believe not only is it less money, because we split the cost and we split the meal, but we're eating less food. And one person said, and it's so true, they put all this food on your plate these days at these restaurants, most entrees. You know, I'm not talking about if you went to a health food restaurant and ate something, you know, whatever. But they give you all these carbohydrates. To just sit there, buy 2 entrees, eat twice as much carbohydrates. I mean, that makes no sense. So we say, split your meal, okay? Intake half the carbohydrates, even if it is a crap meal. And, you know, if you go out, less money, less carbs, less weight on you. And if you're still hungry, when you get home, make yourself a PB&J. Eat a couple of crackers and cheese. You know, make the hunger go away. Have a carrot. I mean, do you have to sit there and just eat until you just feel like, oh, I shouldn't have ate that whole thing? And here's another thing. And I don't mean to pick on senior citizens, because I am one. Have you noticed a lot of them, well, Americans in general, even young people, are obese? We have an obesity problem in our country. And a lot of retired people, they love to just eat whatever their heart's desire, whether it be out at a restaurant or their wife makes a very good, you know, fried, cooked, home-cooked meal. Mashed potatoes, all that stuff. But they really like ice cream. We all start to get younger when we get older. We turn into babies again. We want our ice cream. So ice cream can pack it on you, man. I see a lot of people that are senior citizens that are way overweight. Now, if you don't get cancer or diabetes or hit by a bus, obesity, you know, stroke, these are things that you're just shortening your runway by eating like you do. I'm not saying become a health nut. I'm not one. But if you eat less, like my pastor used to say in Georgia, he said they spend $1 billion a year on these weight loss diet ideas and books and things. He goes, I can tell you how to do it. Just slide away from the table. Bless his heart. Charles Stanley, First Baptist of Atlanta. I'll never forget when he said that joke. That was funny. So, yeah, that's one thing that I made a note on. And about the lottery, when one person commented, most people take their money now. And, you know, if Social Security gave you all your money like the lottery, what would you choose? All of it now at 62? Or would you wait for $42,000 more and just keep on working and going to that job for 5 more years? You might even die before 72 or 67 before you get the check, or only a year after. You won't even get the 5 years. So ask yourself these questions. Quit getting stuck on how you have to amass all of this wealth, about living a life that's so fun, so free. You have no idea what it's like if some of you don't, if you're not retired yet. I had to pinch myself for weeks. Isn't there something I'm supposed to be doing? Isn't there somebody I'm supposed to check in with? Why can't I just do whatever I want to do? I had to start thinking of things. I got a little bit bored for a while, even here in the camper. Now I'm gone all the time. Now I find things to do. And YouTube is keeping me busy too. But I used to be a very avid golfer over in Sarasota, and I told Tammy today, I need to buy a set of golf clubs on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and start playing golf. The only problem is jackrabbits are carrying canteens out there right now. So I don't know if I could hold up. And, you know, golf is cheap right now because it's so hot. But I used to play in Sarasota in the summer, and you get a lower price, you know. And I played with these 3 or 4 other guys. It might even been more. We were like golf nuts. We were there all day. They didn't care if we went around again. I'm telling you, we would play 36 or whatever 9 more is. 36, 45. I still got it. We played 36 to 45 holes a day. 18 wasn't enough. We loved it. And it was for the one green fee price. They didn't care. This was at a place called Rolling Green in Sarasota, and they bulldozed it and built houses on it. Yeah, it's sad. It was there for 40, 50 years maybe. It was a great little golf course. Wasn't that tough either. It was good for people that weren't that good. And anyway, guys, that was just kind of something fun. But I do want to bring you all back to center. The math is a no-brainer. Takes you forever and ever and ever to end up getting more money. I think it's like 75 or 80 years old if you wait to collect your Social Security later. And, you know, what quality of life, like I said, what possibilities of health? Are you going to overeat? Are you going to get a stroke? Are you going to is something going to happen to you? What's going to happen in our country? What's going to happen to Social Security? And that's not a scare tactic. I mean, there's a very real reality that the country has a problem paying its bills now with trillions and trillions of dollars in national debt. Nobody knows the future. Nobody does. But one thing we do know, that today you can crush it